Hello, I'm Julian Phillips, and once again for the vacationing Andrew Schmertz. Tonight, rescue and search operations are indeed underway in Nepal, as the death toll from the earthquake now stands at more than 4,000 killed. Google executive Dan Fredenberg reportedly is among those who lost his life. More than 7,000 others were injured. Unfortunately, this number is expected to climb. Experts say as shortages of water, food, and electricity threaten those displaced by the disaster. International aid is pouring in from around the world, as you can imagine, according to authorities who say the greatest challenge will be getting the help to those in need. Well, Dr. Alok Bohara is the director of the Nepal Studies Center at the University of New Mexico. Doctor, welcome to Arise Exchange.
Thank you.
You know, Doctor, we're talking about so far estimates of about $5 million lost in this disaster. Can you tell us what the percentage is that of the total economy of that country?
Well, I think it's almost like you said, the $5 billion, somewhere like 20% of the total economy. And, you know, like about 10 to 15% of the gross national product depends on tourism. And as you know, that the major sort of three kingdoms, sort of city kingdoms in Kathmandu. They're like Bhaktapur, Lalitpur, and Kathmandu. And the cultural iconic monuments have been destroyed. So I think it's going to have a very, very significant impact on tourism.
Yeah, and Doctor, you really can't underscore that enough there, because basically Nepal is a country that relies primarily on tourism for survival. Is that correct?
That's correct. And because this Kathmandu was in the middle and the epicenter was about like 60 kilometers to the west. And if you go further another 50 kilometers, you have Pokhara, which is a very important tourist hub. That's where all the mountaineering, all the trekking begins for Annapurna Circuit, as you may have heard. And if you go to the west, east, it goes all the way to Everest. So whole area with Langtang trekking, Manaslu trekking, and you have Annapurna and the Everest. All of these are very, very popular among the mountaineering and the trekkers.
In fact, Doctor, yeah, we're talking about, we're looking at some of the pictures here. They're very devastating pictures here. In fact, many historical sites in some cities have been totally wiped out, according to reports. In fact, 30% of districts have been affected by this. This is enormous. I don't think unless you're there, you can really put your head around the damage to all this infrastructure.
Yes, you are right, because Nepal has like 75 districts, of which 30 to 35 have been affected. And those 30 to 35 have been, are major sort of a trekking and all the tourist activities happen there. And I told you about those 4 or 5 very major trekking routes. And so it's going to have a very big effect for a long time.
You know, you certainly don't want to get into a situation, can you top this here? But of course, there have been some comparisons to this earthquake as to the one in Haiti. But the topography of Haiti is much different here. It was more in flat-lying areas. But a lot of Nepal, if not most of it, is a very rugged area, mountainous area. So it compounds rescue efforts here, because it's very difficult to get to some of these areas that have been affected.
Absolutely, because Haiti is, as you said, flat and relatively small, and only about 10 million people, whereas Nepal has close to 30 million. And don't be deceived by the small sort of a map of Nepal, because it's a very, very mountainous hills, and like 60% of the country is covered with hills. So it takes a long time even to cross one district. Remember, there are 75 districts. Even to cross one district, if you're on foot, it takes about a week. So it's a very big country in the sense of geography of up and down in terms of ruggedness. Having access to some of the remote places, we even don't know how many hundreds of villages have been devastated. And some of the aerial pictures are pretty bad. So getting to them and providing rescue effort and other medical supply would be very, very big challenge. And that was not the case in Haiti. So it's very, very difficult and very challenging.
Doctor, we have less than a minute left here, but I'm just wondering, with what's going on here and the difficulty, the daunting efforts of trying to get bodies recovered at this particular point in time, the other issue here is what impact will this earthquake have on family members sending financial aid to relatives over there?
I think, you know, like, for example, about 3 million people, they're called migrant workers. They work in Saudi Arabia, in Gulf countries, Malaysia, and also in Korea. So they send about like $3 billion a year. It's a very significant amount of money for the Nepalese economy.
Right. Okay.
So I think that's going to have another effect if the banking sector is down and if the electricity is down, and a lot of those infrastructure, mainly in Kathmandu, and Kathmandu got hit very badly.
Right.
They don't have the power back, so it's going to have a very big impact in terms of even to send the money.
Okay, we've run out of time. Dr. Alok Bohara, thank you so much. Of course, our prayers are indeed with those and all who have been affected. Thank you very much.
Pleasure.